Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode with Tea Time with Ronald Mercer. Today, I have a special guest star. And guys, I love this guy so much, and I'm so glad he came on my show. Before I introduce him to you, I just want to tell everyone thank you so much for listening to my show. I just found out I've had over 20,000 listeners on Spotify. And that's not even including Apple and YouTube. Bitch, my fucking channel is growing in so many ways. And so the people who have been here for me, thank you. I also want to let you guys know, so starting this episode, I'm no longer going to use names. From my last few episodes, I got so much backlash. So I don't want to have to deal with that. People are like, they got so offended, and I just do not want to deal with all that drama. I will say things, but I'm not going to use names. If I do, it probably code names. So thank you, Jay and Chris, for giving me that idea, because I can be kind of messy, but I don't want to really upset people like that. Actually, I do. Anyways, enough about me. Let's go ahead and introduce my guest star. Introduce yourself, give him your name and where you're from.
Okay, I feel like the first day at school, like where you've been to. So my name is Raphael. I work. That was the first day at school. I am in Canada. I live in Montreal, and I knew and Ronald from Toronto. We met this summer at Pride in Toronto.
Yes. Do you want to give them a little bit of a backstory on? Well, actually, before I get to that, what do you do for a living? What is your passion? Like, what do you do?
Sure, I'm an HR queen. I work for Steve Madden at the moment. I'm going on my fifth month. It's my first job in HR, and so far so good. I got like good comments. I got good like service. I guess I could say, like, people do like to talk to me, which that was like my goal, right? I wanted to be the HR with the like open door type thing, like when. Not the gay way, but just like open door, like people need to confide, or they need to talk to you, they need advice or whatsoever. Like they just like, hey, can it stay between us? I'm just like, for sure. Like I love that confidence that people have on me, and I feel like it's mission accomplished.
Yes. First off, I need to compliment your nails. Show everyone your nails. Those nails are everything.
Not this one.
Yeah.
But yes, my friend just started doing nails. So she needed like a, do you say cobaye? No.
What? No,
like,
we don't say that here.
Someone that to try on.
Okay, well,
that's just in French then. Pardonnez-moi.
Well, I've had my fair share of Frenchmen. Anyway, so I want to say, Steve Madden, I love that brand. I have a shit ton of shoes from them. I love Steve Madden. So congratulations on your role and what you're doing. You're doing such a great job. I'm so happy to hear things like that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're 100% welcome. I do want to ask you, do you want to give them a little bit of backstory on like how we met? We're not going to say names, but we can just say like who we met through. And if this person is watching, and he probably is, because I told him that I was going to bring him up in this episode, and I love you to death. But yes, So you want to go ahead and give him a little bit of backstory?
Sure. I guess at the beginning of June. Yeah, probably the beginning. I met a guy on Instagram only. It was like from a story of a story or something. And like I think he liked some pictures. I liked back. I followed back. We start talking right away. Very nice, very, I would say like, gentleman for sure. Very nice, very like caring in a way. Like even if we didn't know each other, he was just so like thoughtful, I guess we could say. So we vibed right away, and at some point, like I was going to leave my job just because I had to start an internship, and my job at the moment didn't have any internship available. So I had like this time period, and it was around my birthday also, which is June 29th, if you want to send gift. And I basically like I asked him like, hey, if I go to Toronto like during here it's the Saint Jean, La Saint Jean Baptiste, which is the June 24th. He's like, oh, it's Pride here. I was like, oh, okay, so never mind. Like we'll figure something out. He was like, why don't you come? So I just tried. He was like, yeah. You what? Like I felt like I was bothering him in a way. So I was like, oh, all right. But he was like so sweet. I just think he was like so preoccupied with everything like being perfect. Like I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, like but the younger one in the relationship at the house that we went to.
Yes.
So yeah, he
We'll
was
get
like
into
just
that
doing like
story,
all
too.
the chores and everything so I could Sorry.
No, I said we'll get into that story in a little bit. I do want to say something. First off, bitch, you're very bold to go across to another fucking city for a guy that you have never met before. He could have been, let me tell you something. You know, I love you. He could have been a fucking serial killer, even though we know he's not, and we love him. But motherfucker could have chopped you up into the fucking body bag. I know you have seen some of these crime shows. It's too many fucking crime shows. So what you did,
Yes.
kudos to you for not getting your ass chopped up. I know you've seen Jeffrey Dahmer too.
Yes. Yes.
So
and like you know me, like I could fit in a tiny little bag.
I know. You know what? This is we clicked right away. One thing I loved about you, I love your spunk. Like
Yes.
you're just such like a little firecracker, and you're just so much fun. Me and my other two friends, I'm not gonna mention. Like I said, I'm not gonna keep mentioning names, and this is hard for me, everyone. This is so hard for me, and it's gonna take me some time to get used to. Uh, But when we first
Yeah.
met you, we just vibed right away. And we all four need to take a trip soon. We definitely need to.
Yes. Like the
Yes.
moment he was like because of course like it's kind of intimidating in a way when you don't know anyone, and yes, I did vibe with him also like from the get-go. Like I said, like I arrived at his friends first, well before him I should say, and right away like he was like super super nice and everything, so it was already like a safe space in a way. But when he said like, oh, I have like 3 friends that they are coming like together from LA whatsoever, I was like, okay, like I feel like it's good to have like a little gang at some point. Like it's not only you being alone and your 2 friends being like you don't know each other, like all alone and just like mash. So it was just like I do prefer entering like a group already, because I just feel like it's easier that way, especially like a small group. Like let's say I take the 3 of you, and yeah, like of course like you guys were like super nice, super funny. I think we, like you said, like we clicked right away. I know at some point actually no the I did like a joke which I don't remember what it was. I did a joke that I don't think you understood, so you were like no like I'm telling you, and you were like
Oh yeah, I felt some type of way
like,
about that.
I don't know, like yeah,
Yeah.
which I don't remember. Like I know it was like a stupid thing, but like it was just I think like one of like a punchliner that maybe didn't like we didn't like my humor or things like that. Maybe at the time like it wasn't like coming off as I thought it was, and I do think we do have like in Montreal, like we're very sarcastic. That's very very how we work here. So maybe like it just came across differently whatsoever. But when we were on our way to Wendy's, A&W, I don't know, like it was a fast food. Of course, we didn't eat. We're bottoms. But like when we're going to the fast food, I was just like making things very, very clear. And I think you like that.
First off, you know, honestly, in that moment, I did feel the whole conversation before the Wendy's. We will talk about that in a second. But before that, I did feel some type of way, but I know you didn't mean any harm. I just felt like at the time you just was.
Exactly.
I thought you were being a little bit. Yeah, I thought you were being a little bit snappy, but I know you were not. So it's all good. That's just how I come off sometimes. I kind of get like that. I'm like, boom, boom. If you say something to me that I feel like I feel some type of way, then I'm going to say something about it, you know?
Which I love. Like, I love that, because imagine if you were to, like, keep it for yourself. And even if it was just like a short trip, like we've been together, what, like 3 days, I guess? Like you and I. Like, I just think if we start on the wrong foot and we keep it that way, it's just going to be such an asshole weekend, even if it's only the 2 of us. And now, like from the get-go, you basically told me that you didn't like what I said, which I came like clear. I apologize. That's not what I meant. You understood like right away, and you accept my apology, right? So I just think like from that point, I was just like, well, it's water under the bridge.
You know, I
Am
will
I
say
using that
this
right?
as well. Yes. Well, also that day too, when that happened, I also was just kind of in the mood because I'm going to say something. So last year when I was in PV, I had met this guy who I started seeing for a hot second. He lives in Vancouver, and so it didn't work out between us. And so he had this friend who's very well known in Canada. I'm not going to give her name away, but she doesn't. My friends hate when I say this, but she doesn't too much care for me, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The reason why she doesn't too much care for me because she's had a crush on her friend for the longest time, and he wasn't interested in her because he had told me he was like, you know what, this queen has had a crush. Yeah, he said that this queen has had a crush on me for the longest time, but I'm not into him like that. He was like, something about you just, I don't know, which is not surprising. I get that a lot. They're all interested in me. Yeah. So who knows? But anyway, so I was so I was feeling kind of on edge with that. And with my other two friends, I was getting kind of annoyed with them at that moment when we were at that park when all that was happening. So when I kind of like Snapchat you, I just want to let you know, yeah, it wasn't like no hard feelings, but it was a lot of drama that entire. We were there for a whole week in Toronto. It was a lot of fucking drama. You know, we have met so many Canadians. We had such a great time, and we will be back this year. But I will say this: it was so much fucking drama. I'm kind of gonna throw you for like a little loophole because you know that's what we love doing on this show. Remember how our friend who you received, remember at such and such house, remember how we went over such and such house and you were upstairs, I think you were in a bathroom trying to get ready for him.
I was douching.
And yes. Remember you upstairs, you were getting ready for him and you came downstairs and you saw something. Do you want to like give people a little bit more details like what you had saw? Because that was a crazy fucking night because our friend, he had reached out to me. He was like, did I fuck up? I was like, you know, I love you, but you definitely fucked up. You fucked up big time. It was a lot of drama that night.
Yes, in a way, like in my mind, like let's say to go back when he told me like, oh, you should come for Pride, and I was like, okay, like why not? Like I have one life to live. Like you said, maybe it could have been like a killer. So yes, I guess YOLO, like we said before. But yeah, I was like, oh, I want to take like it might be dumb to say like don't follow that, guys, but like I just wanted like a little challenge. I wanted some risk. I wanted to do something that I've never really done, and just like going somewhere to see a guy. I was like, okay, somewhere out of Montreal, let's say. Like I've never really done that. So that's why I was like, let's just do it. That's why I didn't book my comeback ride. In case it was like, let's say fucking hell. And imagine he's just like so rude, or like his place like is fucking trash. I had other friends in Toronto, but no one was there during when I was there. They were either like in New York, because I think it was Pride also. And I knew somebody else, and they basically like, oh yeah, they party like on drugs and stuff like for like 36 hours straight, right? So I was like, okay, there's no way like I can just like knock, can I sleep in, you know? So yeah, that's why I didn't book my trip back, just in case it wasn't going well. I would have come back like right away. That's all. And so at first, my first thought when he said like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you say something? Sorry, it's cuts. Okay.
No,
I think we have like a little like moment, but yeah, like I'm in the future because here it's 2 p.m. And where was I? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't cut myself. You were
talking about this person you went to see. Like, because you remember you just said that your friends were not there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. So basically, I told him yeah, I was like, oh, like Pride is very sexual in a way. Like it's not mandatory, but like it's very known for being sexual. Like we were at the beach and people were like having fun in the not forest, but like the moment that there's trees, right? So people were like super like they were naked, they were like it was very sexual. That's all. So I was like, I don't want to be like first an intruder in your friends group, just being like, hey, I'm the Montreal ho, like I'm just like following my daddy, type thing. And I didn't either want to be like a cock blocker, neither. I didn't want him to be like, oh my God, I really want, let's say, well, I was like going to say with you, but he already knew you. So I was more, let's say, like you don't know him. So you were like, oh, I want to sleep with Ronald. But like, if someone from Montreal came to see me, now I feel bad. I didn't want to put him in that position. So that's why I was like, I like be 100% honest. I know like you want me to come because you invited me, but if it's for to let's say if you're about to like restrain yourself from having fun, I'd rather us to meet another moment. It was like no, like I really want to be there. So I was like, oh, okay, great, that's very very nice. And I was like, okay, the moment if he wants to do something, all I'm expecting, I guess I could say, was transparency. Like, hey, I want to sleep with that guy. Do you want either do a threesome or does it bother you if I sleep with him? Which I would have been 100% okay. And I'm not kidding. I feel like the transparency changes everything. If you would have told me like, hey, I really want to, like that guy, like we've been messaging, like I want him so much. He doesn't want to treat some, like, do you mind? Like I had you guys, like I had so much fun with you guys. So it wasn't like if I was being alone, and I was getting along with all of his friends too. So like I wasn't going to be alone. So I wasn't worried. But what bothered me was, well, that day was like, you remember like the Pride, like it started like 2 hours late. We were sitting on the ground. It was so hot, and we walked for like 10 minutes. Yeah. Like I was expecting to walk, like runway walk, like woo. And like the first like corner whatsoever, it was like, okay, let's just chop, like we're having a party. I was like, we can't, like I felt so rushed. I was like, oh my God, like why can't we just enjoy the moment? And but that was like a detail, right? But at that point I was just like, okay, the day is just so weird. So when we were at the party, we were like chilling, where like the four of us, like you three and I mean, he was with his friend, we got along with all of his friend, everything was fine. And I went upstairs to douche because I was like, oh, it's my last night here, want to get some D, of course. And so of course. And the moment I got down, I didn't see, like you, when you asked me, I didn't see anything actually. It's one of your friend, the curly rip guy. Like, I'm not saying names. I'm not saying names, but like there's a Latino,
and he's gonna be watching this for sure.
Hi, miss you. Like he was like, I think he told me something like, oh, you should go down. So I looked around and I don't see the guy that invited me. So I was like, in my mind right away, I was like, oh my God, he wants to do it in the basement. Naughty. Oh my God. That, right? So I was like, oh my God, like, but I'm not like, I was like, I'm not fully douche. Like, I'm not ready. He was like, no, he's with somebody else downstairs. I was like, like face crack. That's where I experienced my first face crack. So I went down and I was just so annoyed. I was like, I'm douching for you. We were all douching for you. But I was like douching for him. I was like getting ready and I was like upstairs for like 20 minutes. And he had like in that time period, he needed to go downstairs with somebody else. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's sketchy. It kind of look like, oh, Raph's not there. Like, let's just get some ass, right? That's the part I didn't like. But again, it's Pride. I wasn't mad. When I got down the stairs, I was about to like open the door and say something. But at that time I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to get pizza. Like, I'm not going to douche. I'm just going to get pizza and food. I'm so hungry. Right? That's what happened. I think I just knocked. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish. I'll say it right after.
Okay. Sorry, yeah. So I just, like, the moment I went downstairs, I was like, and there's a door, right? So I didn't see anything. The door was closed. But I was like, oh my God, I'm just not gonna douche and I'm not gonna get ready for him. I'm just gonna like just party. It's my last night here. So like I knocked on the door, that's all, and I went up, and like the rib guy was like, oh, you didn't, how come you didn't came in? And then I was like, oh, you wanted some drama, but I'm not about the drama. But I'm a bit, I am, I do love a bit. But that's how I was like, oh my god, so then I'm gonna party. So I was like, oh my god, you guys, I should drink. And I wouldn't drink on an empty stomach. God damn, finally. Like, that was a rough weekend.
Oh my God, you were furious, first off. Second of all, allegedly, because I like to use that term because we don't know if it's true, but the guy who, okay, well, everyone, I will fill you in a little bit. So our friend was downstairs, who he was seeing was fucking another guy who's being passed around, allegedly, to his other friends. That's what I heard. So it was a lot. Huh?
There were 3 guys downstairs?
No, so the people in the house, okay, so our friend, who, you know, so the guy who he was fucking, right? You get that part? Okay, so the guy who he was fucking, apparently, allegedly, had fucked his other friends, the guy you were seeing.
Really?
And you know, I like to use that term allegedly, but the person who's getting fucked confirmed with me, well, confirmed with all of us that he had got passed around by other people.
Really? I didn't know that. That's fun.
Well, you know now. You know I know all the fucking tea. Yes. So that happened. And but you were furious. Remember, you was like, I'm going to go ahead and try to get revenge because you were mad because you was like, I'm going to fuck his friend. I'm going to fuck such and such. Remember, you were trying to get back even, and yes, you did. You were.
I honestly don't remember that.
Okay, so you know the person who, because remember the person who house you were staying at, you were trying to get at him. He's French. You know who I'm talking about. Because I fucked around with him before.
Yeah.
When we were in PV. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't want him. Yeah.
But you remember?
I didn't want him.
You were trying to fuck around with him. You have a short-term memory.
Yeah, I'm 27.
No, okay, so
I'm old.
Okay, remember after all this happened, we were at McDonald's.
Yeah. Then
now you remember.
Like at that time, yes, I was like, okay, I'm food and I'm gonna get drunk. So yeah, but it's I thought you meant like right away when I came upstairs, I was like, I'm gonna get that friend, which no. Maybe after I was like, yeah, like we were like in jockstrap, everyone, not just me, right? So we were all in jockstrap, like they were shirtless, whatsoever. So maybe I was like, okay, that's an easy one, or like that's an easy one to do, which totally not, and nothing happened, and we don't talk at all. That would actually be very shitty if I would have done it, which I'm glad just nothing happened, which I'm glad.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, if you did, that our friend he couldn't have said nothing. He couldn't have been mad at all because what he did was really bad. And I'm like, this is coming from a friend. I'm like, he knows he fucked up, and this is not even me like talking trash. It's just about accountability, being accountable for like your actions. Yeah. So his other friends, like when all this drama happened, they were trying so hard to try to like, if you remember, they were trying so hard to like try to cover up for him because they knew that he fucked up as well. You know?
Yes.
I will say that whole weekend was a lot of drama, but it was fun. We really had a great time. I appreciate our friend allowing us to walk in that parade, even though it was hot as fuck. Me and the curly hair guy with the big muscles. Yeah. Remember, we were like, fuck it. We're starving. We were feeling some type of way. We went to go get Subway.
Subway, yes.
Yeah, yeah, we were over it. We were like, you know what? We were like, we're starving. It was just, I will say, that was such a fun time. It really was.
That was the
So,
most fun I had. That was the best Pride I've ever been to. Like the one that invited me. Like his plans were perfect. His friends were so nice. He was so caring. He wanted us to have so much fun. I don't know if you remember, but like the first what basically when we met, you and I, it was like the drag show at night. Do you remember? Like it was like a park,
yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
at some point, like we were on the crosswalk, like the
Mm-hmm.
crosswalk, yeah,
Yes. Okay. Yes.
sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like on the little, basically like there's where we walk. There was like a little like
Mm-hmm.
wall of this like super short of brick before there was like grass. He was on the grass part, and he was like, "Do you want to come up? Like, do you see?" Like he wanted me to. He wanted to be so sure that I was like having a good time, that I was seeing everything, that everything was right. So I really liked that. He definitely like make the weekend like so good. I had so much fun, and I do think about like it's going to be hard to like dub this one, honestly.
Honestly, for me, Toronto Pride was probably my favorite Pride ever. I will say that, and it's gonna be. You're right. It's gonna be
Really?
100%. Yes, it's gonna be 100% hard to top that. Like this year, we're definitely going for sure again. I'm pretty sure it won't be as much drama, but I will say that yes, I will say that Pride was everything. It was so much fun, and I definitely am looking
Yeah.
forward to going back again. So, Rafi, I do want you. Okay, so I do something on every time I have a guest star. I do Ronald Cam. So, pretty much what it is, and I've done this in past episodes. You just stand up, show everyone your body, and yeah.
You didn't do that.
No, I'm telling you to stand up and show your body to everyone. So do like it. So
I'm in
just show
jockstrap.
your body. Oh, you are.
I don't have anything behind. I don't have anything under.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Unless you want everyone to see what you're working with.
Like I don't mind showing, but
No.
like let's say there you go. I'm extra small, and I'm 28 from there, and I have a flat ass.
I cannot with you. That's hilarious. Okay,
Flat
well,
but bubble,
I'm
like a
glad.
bubbly flat, you know.
Well, it was a hot topic in Toronto.
Really? Tell me more.
You
What's
know
the
this.
tea? Tea time.
Well, I just would say that more than one person there wanted you when we were on that trip. Like I said, we're not giving names, but more than one person wanted to hook up with you while you were there. Remember, I will say this. Remember when, okay,
Really?
after all the yes. Remember when after all the drama had happened, and we were all walking, remember when you the curly hair guy with the big muscles, the other guy, he's Hispanic. Remember when you all three of you guys were like kissing?
Yes.
I was like, look at all these
That
bottoms.
was fun.
That was such a great. I'm telling you, it was such a fucking great trip. So, but that's
That was such
enough
a bottom.
about
Yeah.
yeah. So that's enough about Toronto trip. So first off, everyone want to know if you're single and ready to mingle.
I do am single and ready to mingle.
Okay,
Like I do
well,
prefer to be alone than in bad company. That's for sure. Like I've been single for the past 8 years, I think, maybe 7 or 8. Like at that point, does it really matter? And I'm very, very comfortable alone. I love being alone, and like I do love my alone time. So I like going to Toronto actually like made me realize like I would kind of be down for like a long distance relationship in a way where
mhm.
I'm not at the person's place and he's not in my space. Like I would very love somewhere like a bit far, like from Toronto to Montreal for people like in LA, let's say. Like my distance from Toronto would be around 5 to 6 hours with break. Like if I stop to pee and like eat Subway, like your passion, right? So that would be like maximum 6 hours, maybe 7 if the temperature is very bad. But because here we have snow, that's why you're shirtless, and that's why I have a fur coat.
Okay, so I do want to ask you as well. What kind of qualities do you look for in a guy?
I do want someone that might be dumb to say, but I want someone confident. Like as a boyfriend, I wouldn't want someone to be like, "Don't you hate this about me?" And I hear it a lot with either like just people that I know, friends, hookups, boyfriends of other friends. Where let's say my friends like, my boyfriend told me like, oh, like I have roles. Like, do you mind? Like, oh, of course I don't. I'll tell you. Like, I don't know. Actually, maybe I won't tell things like that. But like, I need someone that is like confident, even if you have a flaw. Let's say if there's something about me that I don't like, either like wear it with pride and get over it. In my mind, that's it. Like, I don't want I don't want a child, right? I don't want someone that I'm just like, no, don't worry, you're beautiful, you have amazing qualities, oh, you're super, super nice. No, red flag.
Definitely. You know what, for me, I will say,
and I want someone older. I want someone older than me.
A fucking man. Absolutely. First off, yeah, definitely older for me. Need to have their shit together. They need to be fucking confident. They need to know where they're going in life. Because a lot of times I've been realizing a lot of these fucking guys, especially out here in LA, do not have their shit together at all. That's why I stopped I gave up on them a long time ago.
That's surprising, though.
Well, no, it's LA because people pretend to be something they're not. Everyone knows this where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
I will say the guys on the East Coast, so much better. So much better. They know what they want.
That's New York,
they know what
right?
They want.
East?
Yes. They also, too, they are confident. If they have any problems, they're not afraid to say it. Not at all. Here, absolutely not.
Love that.
Absolutely fucking not. Okay.
Yeah, that's but they're hot, right?
Yeah. They're okay. Oh, you talking about on the East Coast or West Coast?
West is LA?
Yes.
Oh, so then, yeah, I think, I thought LA were like very hot. So I guess like hot makes it their personality, which is bad.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. There's good-looking guys here. Is good-looking guys on the East Coast. But I will say this. Just because you're hot doesn't mean that you have personality. These guys out here, they have nothing to show for. You can have a great fucking face, but if you have no personality, then no, it's a no for me. Like, trust me, I have dated and I have talked to so many fucking hot guys, but the problem is these guys have no personality, and I have a short attention span. It's hard to impress me. I have not met anyone, especially on the West Coast, has literally kept my attention at all.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's surprising because you're a catch.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know this. So, okay, this is what also I want to talk about as well. I want to because we talked about it on Instagram. We kind of covered the topic a little bit, but I want to talk about when you were back in high school, and I want you to elaborate a little bit more on like when you were in high school and you got bullied, and then I think you said it's not happening now, but it was back when you were in high school.
Correct. It was. I think I was just like an easy target in a way because I didn't speak back, talk back, like clap back, whatever. I was not confident, so I think that's why. Just to go back also to what I'm looking for in a guy. That's why I want someone confident also, just because I've been lacking confidence so much. Like I've been told like you're gay, you're this, you're that, you're a girl, because I used to play with brats. No Barbie brats. I'm that gay. But yeah,
They're
so
pretty.
I've been told like from literally like almost since day one. So when I grew up, when I understood that I was gay, I didn't have that deny part. Like when I understood what that attraction was, I was just like, oh great, I'm gay. Like of course they were right. Like I'm so mad. I was so mad being gay. Because it was it was said like such an insult, like, oh, you're so gay, you know? I I really thought like it was a flaw. So when I grew up, I was like, oh, at some point, like I was watching a show, and like it was like a bit of a I survived type thing. Like the guy had like a massive accident. His legs were cut off, so like he had to change job. He had to move or like construct the whole house whatsoever. So I was like, and they said like oh, at least he has his partner, blah, blah, blah. And they show, and it was two guys. So I was like, oh, wow, no legs, and he's gay. Like, his life sucks. Like, I was so sad for him because I was like, wow, he's gay. Ugh, poor him. But that was when I understood that I was gay. So to me, that was like, wow, like, life can get good when you're gay. But life gets better, honestly. So, right, like, clearly, like, I think, like, the way I say things, it's very clear that I'm very, very happy to be gay. Of course, I accepted it. Shocking. I accepted it. No, but I accepted it. I'm so happy to be gay. So, and I think like it takes time though. It takes time because, like I said, like I really thought it was a flaw. And it took me from 2006, 95, 2005. Wait, I'm counting. 10, 11, 12, 13. From 13, I understood I was gay at 13. So maybe 13 to 19, I was like, I'd rather be alone than have a boyfriend because I wouldn't be happy with a boyfriend. Like, you can't be happy when you're gay and all that. So yeah. And I think when I understood that I was gay, it made me also like more, like when I was receiving those insults, it touched different because I couldn't say like, what are you talking about anymore? Like in my mind, I knew. So I was like, of course, like everybody knows, everybody's laughing at me. And it was like almost every day. Like I don't have like the roughest story. Like I've never been threatened or I've never been like physically assaulted. Like I know like some people had it way harder than me. Like my parents are my biggest cheerleader since the day one. Like I said earlier, like I used to play with brats. Like if I asked for one at Christmas, I had it. Like my starting like 3 when I was like, oh my god, I want Barbies, like my Barbies, my cousin's Barbies. That's what I got for Christmas. No more car, no more little cars. Like my parents were very, very like rooting for me, and they were just letting myself be myself. And I'm not saying that if you play with dolls that you're automatically gay, but that's what my parents were like in mind. Like if it leads to it, I want Raphael to be like comfortable in his own skin. If it has to express himself by doing like by sewing. I did theater, I did gymnastic, I did like dolls. So that very like I think impact my life in a positive way because I knew I was going to be supported by my entourage. I only lost 2 people from being gay, which I think is a blessing because some people lose family, home, everything. So I'm not saying like I really don't want to seem. I'm so sorry. Like I speak so much, but like it
No,
does
you
passion me like that subject. Like I love like coming out stories and everything like that. I don't want to sound like a victim at all. So yes, I've been bullied. I do think it's part of my past. It did build me with who I am. And at some point, like I did, I wanted to do how do you say what's the word when you work but for free, like community type thing.
I don't know. Oh, say it one more time.
Like
Maybe I
it's
can.
when you like when you're working but it's free, and
Mhm.
usually like let's say you help the
Community
poor
service.
or you
Community
help.
service.
Isn't that when you get out of jail?
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. You're helping in the
Oh, okay.
community. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
what you. That's
I'll
what you
go with
mean.
it. But as long as people understand me, I didn't go to jail. I didn't go to jail. I would have stayed there.
Well, your top kind of looks like it's orange, even though it's pink, but still,
Does it look orange?
it
But
does
yeah.
fit. You just
So basically, like I did something like to sorry.
no, I didn't say anything.
uh Feel so bad, like we can understand fully each other. But basically, like I did this community service type thing where it's basically you go into schools and you just answer people's question about anything queer related. Like it could be, well, it's very based on our personal stories. So and we're two, so usually they try to have like two different people. Like I wouldn't be part I wouldn't like show up in class with another like white gay male. I would be maybe with like a lesbian or a trans person, someone that has a different backstory first, and also like a different like challenges. Because I do think, let's say, like trans people, like I said, like I've been blessed in my life, even if I had like that bullying past. I did not, like, I never tried like to harm myself. I never doubted my existence, things like that. But maybe some people, sorry, like I jumped conversation. Like I'm not saying like trans people all have like problems. I'm just saying, wow, now I'm stressed. I'm so sorry. I just meant people that have a
No,
difference. It can be someone that has a rougher past. It can be a trans person. It can be a lesbian. It actually could be you, just because we don't have the same. I know, like from when I hear like maybe people of like a different ethnicity than me already have like a challenge, another challenge added on top of homophobia that people can receive, right? So
yes,
so yeah, I did
definitely.
that's what I wanted to do, and I really really like that.
Yeah, so I will say definitely, because I've covered this topic in past episodes. Definitely, people of color do have it a little
Very
bit
good.
harder, especially. Thank you. I've been getting so many like people like telling me like, "Oh my God, I love your show! So many congratulations! I am so blessed." I
Mhm.
started this whole podcast to bring awareness to like the community, and even though at times I do come off as messy, my message is clear, and I want to be clear about that to everyone. But yes, people of color
Mhm.
do have it a little bit harder, especially when you're a person of color and you're gay. You have two double whammies going against you. Like it's crazy, but this is
Yeah.
the way I look at it. You will arise above it if you make a fucking plan. And I tell people this all the time. So for me, I'm very blessed. I try to do my best to give back to the community. And that's all I can do. And starting this platform, it's definitely been beneficial to me because I feel like me having a conversation with you, you're getting out like how you feel about like life and like what you're going through, and you're also giving people like a part of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Um, I will say this. So, this episode, because I know that some people are going to be reaching out to me behind this episode. I will say this. This episode was just to kind of bring light on like how we met and like a little bit of your backstory. But I do really appreciate you coming on this show. Like you honestly, you know how much I love you. I do appreciate you like giving words of wisdom, and like hopefully some people who see this, they feel inspired by this episode. And I know my siblings probably going to be watching this episode, so oops if you hear some things that you haven't heard before. I do want to let everyone know that the next episode that I'm going to have is going to be a jaw-dropping episode. I'm not going to give away any tea about it, but it's a pretty juicy episode, and I'm not going to mention any names. I do have several guest stars coming up over the next few weeks, and so I am pretty booked. And I have also, so you're my first international star on this show, but I have another one. It's a female. She's beautiful. She's so gorgeous. She's going to be on this show in March. So we already have it planned out. Guys, you are in for a ride, and I am so thankful, and I'm so grateful. I'm blessed, and that's all I can do, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, like as someone that I don't watch or listen to podcasts that much, but I did really of course I listened to yours because I volunteer. When you said like who wants to be a guest, I was like, oh my god, I should be. I would really like that. I did have a lot of fun like hearing you guys, like you and I think right now you have 3 episodes, right? Like
yes,
you have 3 hours, and I really enjoy it. Like at work, it's very fun. Like do like light tasks, so I can easily like listen to you be and not being like unfocused. So no, I think you're doing a very great job, and you're very fun to talk to just as a person. Also, like when like we said earlier, like when we met, it was very very nice. At some point, like we were like a lot of time we were together, like you and I. We were like even if it's just like I want to go pee, okay, I'll come with you. Like we were like each other, right? So yeah, I do think you're always a good time. You're so fun. You're so confident. I love that. I love the energy. I love it. I love it.
I love your energy too. And you know, that's what, you know, so me and my other 2 friends, that's how we like really connected, because the guy with the curly hair with the muscles, when we first met like over a year ago, and we've been friends ever since, he would tell you he didn't have a lot of confidence until he wore my magic. Okay, so I have these magic shorts. So I have them in red, I have them in black, I have them in blue, and I have them in gray. Every time
the one where we see like your dick at the gym.
Yes, absolutely. Every time I wear those shorts, magic. Literally, all these guys come to me. Like it's just crazy. But so my friend with the curly hair, he wore these shorts when we were in PB like a year ago. He got so much attention, and that's when he knew. He was like, you know what, I'm the shit. And so I've been slowly but surely getting our other friends to get the same kind of confidence, because I tell them all the time, when we all get together, we're unstoppable. And so you, I will say you're very confident. Yeah. You were a person that when I first met you, like I really vibed with you. We had such a great time on that trip. And I'm really happy that we're friends. And I'm really looking forward to like our friendship, like really developing.
100%. I know like, sometimes when you meet someone, like especially like let's say a friend of a friend, like that could have just ended there, and that would have been fun. Like we would have had a good weekend, and that's all, right? But we kept in touch so much, which I'm so happy. Like even you and like I mean with your 2 friends also, but I do speak to you the most. Like I miss you all, that's for sure. Like, but I like in a way I just know that we're gonna meet again, and that won't be like. I don't know how to say it, but it won't be weird. It won't be awkward. It's just going to be like, hey, like let's say at the point you said you want to come to Montreal, you won't be like, oh my god, that's going to be weird if I ask Raph to hang out. No, of course I'll be waiting, bitch. Like I'll be out the door. I'll be out the door waiting for you.
Yeah, you know what? And same thing. If you ever come to LA, you never ever need a place to crash. Just let me know. That's just how I am as a friend, and everyone knows this about me. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you open the door for me, I'll open the door for you. That's just the way I look at it. I'm like, we play on one team. Everyone should be able to get along and do this all together. You know? Absolutely. Well, Raph, this is going to be the end of the show. I do want to thank you again for coming on this show. And we definitely will be hearing from each other again.
For sure. Now I need to know who wanted to sleep with me. So you better DM me. The moment you hang up this call, you better DM me.
Okay, I promise I will. I'm like, it's so hard not giving names, but but you know how that goes.
I know.
Okay. So I'm going to close out this show.
I thought it was going to be like way easier than this.
Oh yeah, no, I told you. This show is like the way how I have this show set up. I have it as like everyone is just like having a conversation. Like whoever, I'm like, I'm having a guest on my
Yeah.
show, you know. Yeah, no, but yeah, the word that we were talking about early, I said community service, but it's kind of the same thing, but as a community, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay,
Very nice.
so I'm closing out this show, everyone. Again, I want to thank all my listeners who have been on this show. Have been listening to this show. And it's just been such a great ride. First off, I'm looking right across the street and I see someone who I used to talk to back in the day. He lives right across from me. I'm like, ooh, okay. But I do want to thank everyone again for listening to me. And as I always say, get your life together, get your credit together, clean that damn kitchen because we do not do roaches. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
You looked around like you got roaches in your kitchen.
I don't have roaches. It's just right now, like it's drying, so it just looks like a mess. But everything's clean. Like my STD check, it's all clean.
Oh, girl, I know you clean. I know you clean. Okay, boo. Okay, well, boo, I will talk to you later. You have a lovely day. The sun is out here. I have so many things to do.
You too.
So booked and busy. We're blessed, and I'm so glad we are on a great path.
Yes, miss you.
I miss you too. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Yes, bye.
Bye.